It simply watches what people bring into the world and responds to it. That force is the marketplace. And once someone understands how it works, a lot of the confusion surrounding success and failure starts to disappear. Many people spend years trying to figure out why some people seem to steadily move ahead while others struggle just to gain momentum. They often assume the answer must involve luck, secret advantages, or circumstance they can't control. But when you really look at how opportunities are distributed in the world, you start to see a consistent pattern appear. The marketplace does not respond to wishes, and it does not reward the stories people tell about themselves. It responds to value. In many ways, the marketplace works a lot like a mirror. A mirror does not invent information, and it does not change the image in order to protect someone's feelings. It simply shows what is standing in front of it. If you stand in front of a mirror smiling, the mirror reflects that smile immediately. If you stand there frowning, the mirror shows that frown just as clearly. The mirror is not judging you, and it is not choosing sides. It is simply showing what is there. The marketplace behaves in the same neutral way. It reflects what a person contributes, the problems they are able to solve, and how useful their abilities are to other people. When someone develops skills that help others move forward, the reflection begins to change. Opportunities appear, demand increases, and rewards begin to grow. When the contribution is small or inconsistent, the reflection shows that as well. What makes this idea so important is that many people misunderstand the measurement being used. They believe the world evaluates them based on how hard they try, how difficult their situation has been, or how strong their intentions are. Those things may matter to the person experiencing them, but they are not the measurement used by the marketplace. The marketplace measures usefulness. That realization can feel uncomfortable at first because it removes many of the explanations people rely on. Someone might feel they have worked extremely hard for years and still feel frustrated with the results they are getting. Hard work by itself, however, does not guarantee that the work is producing something others actually need. The marketplace does not measure how exhausted someone becomes while working. It measures the usefulness of what that work creates. Imagine two people both working long hours every day. One spends that time learning how to solve difficult problems that businesses face, improving systems, and developing skills that make other people's work easier and more productive. The other person spends the same number of hours staying busy but producing very little that actually helps anyone move forward. At the end of the day, both people may feel equally tired, but the marketplace will reflect their contributions in very different ways. This is why the marketplace should not be seen as an enemy or as some kind of harsh judge. In reality, it is one of the most honest systems a person will ever deal with. It does not operate on favoritism, and it does not secretly decide who deserves success. It simply reflects the value that flows from one person to others. Over time, that reflection becomes harder and harder to ignore. A person who consistently produces useful results begins to attract attention because others benefit from what they do. Employers notice it, customers notice it, and coworkers begin to rely on it. Opportunities start to appear, not because someone demanded them, but because the value being produced makes those opportunities make sense. The same pattern works the other way as well. If someone contributes very little that helps others solve problems or improve their situation, the reflection will quietly show that too. The world may still offer basic participation, but the rewards will remain limited because the contribution remains limited. Once a person understands this principle, the way they interpret the world begins to change. Instead of seeing success as mysterious or unfair, the pattern becomes easier to recognize. People who consistently create value tend to move forward over time. People who rarely build or apply useful skills tend to stay close to where they started. The important thing to understand is that the marketplace itself is not emotional about any of this. It is not trying to punish anyone, and it is not trying to protect anyone. It simply reflects what is being offered. In that sense, the marketplace becomes one of the clearest forms of feedback a person can receive. If someone looks into that mirror and does not like what they see, the mirror itself is not the problem. The mirror is simply showing the current condition of what is standing in front of it. Once a person understands that idea, they gain the ability to respond thoughtfully instead of reacting emotionally. A lot of people spend years arguing with the mirror instead of improving what the mirror reflects. They complain about the system, criticize the environment, or explain why the results they are getting are unfair. None of those arguments change the reflection, however. The mirror continues to show exactly what is placed in front of it. A much wiser approach is to study the reflection carefully and treat it as useful information. If the reflection shows strong demand, increasing opportunity, and growing rewards, that means value is being created in a way that helps others. If the reflection shows stagnation or limited opportunity, that information is still useful because it points to areas where improvement may be needed. When someone begins looking at the marketplace in this way, something interesting starts to happen. Frustration slowly gives way to clarity. Instead of constantly wondering why life feels confusing, they begin to recognize the patterns behind the outcomes they experience. The marketplace starts to feel far less mysterious and much more predictable. It reflects usefulness, contribution, and reliability. Over time, those qualities form a pattern that other people can recognize and depend on. Once that understanding sinks in, a person stops treating the marketplace like something they need to fight against. Instead, it becomes a system that can be studied and worked with intelligently. By increasing the value they bring to others, they gradually begin to change the reflection they see. That is the key idea to remember. The marketplace is not creating your story. It is reflecting your contribution. What you see in that reflection is simply the world responding to the value you are currently offering. And once that principle is clear, it leads us to one of the biggest misunderstandings people have about success. One of the biggest misunderstandings people have about success comes from mixing up what they intend to do with what they actually provide to the world. A lot of people believe that if they strongly want something, the results should naturally follow. They tell themselves things like, I really want to succeed, or I honestly want to improve my situation. But wanting something and delivering something valuable to other people are two completely different things. Intention exists inside a person's mind. It is private, personal, and usually invisible to everyone else. Value, on the other hand, has to move outward. It has to reach other people in a form that helps them solve problems, improve their situation, or accomplish something they would struggle to do on their own. The marketplace cannot respond to intention because it cannot see it. What it can respond to is usefulness, because usefulness directly affects other people. This difference explains why many hardworking people sometimes feel confused about the progress they are making. They might spend a lot of time thinking about their goals, talking about their plans, and trying to motivate themselves to move forward. Those activities can feel productive, and in certain ways they do help a person stay focused. However, the marketplace does not measure how strongly someone wants success. What it measures is what that person actually produces that helps others. Someone might truly want financial stability. Yet if they never develop skills that solve real problems for other people, the marketplace has very little reason to increase their income. The desire may be sincere and genuine, but sincerity alone does not create something useful that others can apply. The marketplace waits for something tangible, something practical, something that improves the work or lives of other people. This idea explains why recognition tends to follow contribution instead of coming before it. Many people hope to be noticed, respected, or appreciated for their effort. They want others to see their potential or acknowledge the work they feel they are putting in. But recognition rarely grows from intention by itself. Recognition grows from visible contribution. When someone consistently produces results that help others, people naturally begin to notice. The benefits of that work reach them directly, and that makes the contribution easier to recognize. A person who solves problems efficiently, improves processes, or provides dependable service begins to stand out without needing to demand attention. Others talk about them because their work produces real outcomes that people can actually see. It is important to understand that this does not mean intention has no value at all. Intention often serves as the starting point for improvement. Before someone begins changing their situation, they usually have to decide that they want something better. That decision can provide the motivation needed to begin learning and growing. But intention is only the beginning. It is not what the world ultimately measures. You can think of intention as the spark that starts an engine. The spark provides the energy needed to get things moving in the first place. However, once the engine is running, progress depends on movement, direction, and useful work being done along the way. If the engine never moves the vehicle forward, that original spark eventually stops mattering. The marketplace responds to movement and results. It responds to what actually reaches other people and improves their situation. When someone develops a useful ability and applies it consistently, the marketplace recognizes that immediately because it creates real benefits that others can experience. This is why two people with very similar ambitions can end up with very different outcomes. Both might talk about wanting success, and both may feel confident about their plans for the future. But if one person spends their time developing valuable skills, while the other focuses mostly on motivation and intention, the reflection they receive from the marketplace will slowly start to separate. The person who learns how to solve problems others face becomes more useful over time. That usefulness naturally leads to opportunities because people tend to seek out people who can deliver reliable solutions. Employers give more responsibility to those who produce dependable results, and customers return to people who provide services that genuinely improve their situation. Meanwhile, the person who depends mostly on desire and motivation may feel stuck or frustrated. They may believe their intentions are strong and their effort is sincere, yet the rewards they expected never seem to appear. The issue is not that the marketplace is ignoring them. The issue is that the marketplace is still waiting for value to show up in a form it can respond to. Understanding the difference between intention and value can completely change the way someone approaches improvement. Instead of focusing mainly on how much they want something, they start asking a different question. They begin asking themselves, what useful ability can I develop that will help other people move forward? That question naturally shifts attention toward growth. It encourages learning, practice, and the development of real competence. When someone focuses on becoming useful, instead of simply wishing for results, their actions start producing signals the marketplace can recognize. Those signals usually show up in the form of reliability, effectiveness, and problem-solving ability. A person who consistently delivers those qualities becomes valuable in ways that intention alone could never accomplish. Their work begins to matter to others because it produces outcomes that actually improve real situations. Another important thing to remember is that the marketplace does not require perfection. It does not expect someone to become the greatest expert in the world before they begin receiving rewards. What it requires is usefulness that people can recognize and depend on. Even moderate improvements in value can begin to change the reflection a person receives. Over time, small improvements in skill and usefulness start to build on each other. Someone who steadily increases their ability to help others eventually becomes hard to ignore because their contribution produces consistent results. Opportunities begin appearing simply because people trust the reliability of what that person provides. When someone truly understands this idea, a lot of their frustration begins to fade. They stop expecting the world to respond to what they intend and start focusing on what they actually deliver. That shift turns ambition into action and gradually transforms desire into contribution. The marketplace cannot respond to thoughts that stay inside someone's mind. It cannot reward intentions that never reach the outside world. But it does respond quickly when value appears in a form that benefits other people. Once a person understands that difference, they begin directing their energy toward becoming someone who provides solutions instead of someone who simply hopes for results. That change in focus is often the moment when real progress finally begins to take shape. And as that progress begins, it naturally brings a person face to face with another important realization. Every system in the world operates through a kind of language. Farmers understand the language of seasons, soil conditions, and planting cycles. Builders understand the language of measurements, materials, and structural balance. Merchants understand the language of trade, supply, and exchange. The marketplace has its own language as well. And once someone begins to understand it, the patterns behind opportunity become much easier to recognize. The marketplace does not communicate through explanations, and it does not respond to long arguments about why things should have gone differently. Instead, it communicates through results. The signals it pays attention to are value, reliability, and the ability to solve problems for other people. When those signals show up clearly and consistently, the marketplace tends to respond in ways that are surprisingly predictable. A lot of people spend years speaking in ways the marketplace does not really recognize. They explain why their circumstances are difficult, why certain opportunities never appeared, or why progress seems slower than it should be. Some of those explanations may even be true. However, those are not the signals the marketplace responds to. The marketplace is not listening for reasons. It is watching for results. Think about it. If someone finds a way to improve efficiency inside a company, the marketplace understands that signal immediately. If a person creates a product that saves people time or effort, the usefulness of that contribution becomes clear very quickly. If someone provides dependable service that others can rely on again and again, the marketplace responds because reliability itself becomes something valuable. All of these signals form a kind of language, and it is spoken through action rather than through words. Skills communicate in this language. Discipline communicates in this language. Consistent performance communicates in this language as well. When those qualities appear together, they send a message that other people can recognize and trust. One of the most important parts of this language is reliability. Someone who produces useful results occasionally may receive occasional opportunities. But a person who produces those results consistently begins to stand out in a much stronger way. Consistency turns usefulness into trust, and trust is one of the most valuable signals the marketplace recognizes. Think about what happens when someone repeatedly helps solve problems for the people around them. In the beginning, their contribution might not attract much attention because the results seem small or routine. Over time, however, patterns begin to develop. Co-workers start noticing that certain challenges become easier to handle when that person is involved. Managers start noticing that projects move along more smoothly when that person contributes their skills. Eventually, a reputation for reliability begins to form. People start seeking out that person when problems arise because past experience has shown that useful results tend to follow. When that pattern becomes clear, the marketplace begins responding with greater opportunity. Another important part of the marketplace's language is improvement. When someone continues developing their abilities, they send a signal that their contribution is expanding. Each new skill increases the number of problems they can solve. Each improvement in discipline increases the consistency of the results they produce. As someone steadily improves in this way, the marketplace starts recognizing a growing level of value. Employers may begin offering greater responsibility because they trust that person to handle more complicated challenges. Customers may become more loyal because the service they receive continues improving over time. One interesting thing about this language is that it does not require announcements or self-promotion. A person does not need to stand in front of others and declare how capable or reliable they are. The language speaks through repeated action. Results become the words that communicate value. This helps explain why some people seem to attract opportunity more easily than others. It is not necessarily because they have some mysterious advantage that others lack. Often it is simply because they have learned to communicate in the language the marketplace understands. Their actions consistently demonstrate usefulness, reliability, and competence. When those signals become clear, people begin to trust the results that follow. Trust naturally leads to greater responsibility, and greater responsibility often leads to greater rewards. The process may seem gradual at first, but over time it creates a very strong upward pattern. Here's something to remember. The marketplace does not become confused by excuses. When someone explains why something could not be finished, or why a certain result did not appear, the marketplace continues paying attention to the outcome itself. Explanations may offer context, but they do not change the signal being sent. That does not mean a person should never explain a difficulty or mistake. Everyone faces challenges and setbacks at times. What matters more is the response that follows. When someone learns from a setback and comes back with stronger results, the marketplace recognizes that signal clearly. People who succeed over the long term often develop the habit of translating situations into the language of value. When they encounter a problem, they ask how they can solve it. When they see an inefficient system, they look for ways to improve it. When they have the chance to learn a new skill, they recognize that skill as another word added to their vocabulary of usefulness. Over time, their ability to communicate through results becomes stronger and more natural. They are able to handle more complex tasks because they have built the skills needed to produce dependable outcomes. Their reliability grows because they have developed the discipline required to maintain consistent performance. At that point, the marketplace often begins responding almost automatically. Opportunities appear because others recognize the signals being sent. Businesses look for people who can produce dependable results. Customers seek out people whose work consistently solves their problems. When someone clearly understands this principle, they stop arguing with the marketplace and start studying how it works. They begin paying attention to the types of contributions that receive the strongest response and then deliberately work to strengthen those abilities. The goal is not to impress others with promises or explanations. The goal is to communicate through action in a language the marketplace understands perfectly. Value, reliability, and results form that language. And the more clearly a person speaks through those signals, the more clearly the marketplace tends to respond. And that realization brings us to another interesting point about how people think about themselves. A lot of people spend a large part of their lives trying to decide who they are by choosing the right description for themselves. They attach their identity to titles, labels, or carefully crafted stories about who they believe they are. Someone might say, "This is who I am," and hope that others will accept that description exactly the way it has been presented. However, the world usually forms its understanding of a person in a very different way. The marketplace does not build a person's identity based on what they call themselves. It builds identity based on what a person consistently contributes. The question it answers is not what someone claims to be, but what that person repeatedly delivers to other people. Over time, the work a person produces becomes the clearest statement of who they are in the eyes of the world. This process does not happen all at once. It happens gradually and often quietly, but it is extremely powerful. Each time someone provides a useful result, a small impression is created in the minds of the people who benefit from it. When those useful results continue appearing over time, those impressions begin connecting with one another. Eventually, they form a pattern, and that pattern becomes reputation. Reputation is one of the most valuable forms of identity a person can develop. It is not created through declarations or announcements. Instead, it is created through experience. When people repeatedly see the same level of reliability, the same quality of work, and the same willingness to solve problems, they begin to associate those qualities with the person responsible for those results. Once that association starts to form, something interesting begins to happen. A person's name itself begins to carry meaning. When their name comes up in conversation, people start remembering the experiences they have had with that individual's work. If those experiences have been consistently positive, the reputation becomes stronger each time another useful result appears. This is how identity develops within the marketplace. It is built from repeated proof rather than personal opinion. Someone who consistently solves difficult problems begins to be known as a person capable of handling responsibility. Someone who consistently produces dependable results begins to be known as someone who can be trusted. Trust does not appear automatically, and it cannot be demanded from others. It grows through repeated evidence that a person's work produces reliable outcomes. Each time someone fulfills a promise, completes a task carefully, or improves something that others depend on, another layer of that trust begins to build. Over time, the pattern becomes difficult for others to ignore. People begin to seek out the person whose work has repeatedly proven dependable. Managers start giving more responsibility to those whose contributions consistently strengthen the organization. Customers return to the people who have shown that their service can be relied upon. In this way, identity becomes something built through action rather than something announced through words. The marketplace does not rely on self-descriptions because it has access to something much more reliable. It observes the pattern of results that follow a person's efforts. Think about the difference between someone who frequently promises improvement and someone who quietly delivers it. The first person may speak confidently about their future plans, but the pattern of results has not yet been established. The second person may say very little about themselves, yet their work consistently produces results that others can see and benefit from. When you look at those two situations, it becomes clear which person the marketplace is more likely to trust. People tend to place confidence in those whose contributions have already proven useful. Results speak much louder than promises when responsibility and opportunity are being considered. This is why reputation becomes such a powerful force in shaping a person's opportunities. Once others begin associating someone with dependable results, they naturally begin relying on that reliability. Each new responsibility then creates another opportunity to strengthen the reputation that was built through earlier contributions. One interesting part of this process is that it usually does not involve dramatic moments of recognition. Reputation grows through many small contributions that might seem ordinary when viewed one at a time. A well-finished task here, a helpful solution there, and a steady pattern of reliability over time gradually builds something much larger. Eventually, the accumulation of those contributions creates an identity that the marketplace recognizes almost immediately. When a new challenge appears, people remember who has solved similar problems before. When something important needs to be handled reliably, people think of the person whose work has consistently produced results. At that point, the person's identity within the marketplace becomes strongly connected to the value they provide. Their name becomes associated with a certain level of competence and reliability. Others begin expecting useful outcomes because past experience has shown that those outcomes usually follow. You have to understand that this type of identity cannot be created through presentation alone. Someone may describe themselves in impressive terms, but if the work they produce does not support those claims, the marketplace eventually notices the difference. In the end, everything returns to the pattern of contribution. Because of this, the most effective way to build a strong identity is to focus on the quality of the work itself. Every useful result adds another layer to the reputation being formed. Every commitment that is fulfilled strengthens the trust others place in that person's contribution. When someone starts viewing identity this way, they worry less about what people think in the short term. Instead, they begin focusing on the pattern they are building through their actions. Over time, that pattern becomes the clearest statement of identity the marketplace can recognize. Who a person becomes in the eyes of the world is not determined by titles or personal stories. It is determined by the problems they solve, the value they create, and the reliability they demonstrate over time. Contribution becomes the foundation for reputation. And reputation becomes the identity that the marketplace reflects. And that leads to one of the most encouraging things a person can understand about the marketplace. One of the most encouraging things about the marketplace is that the reflection it creates is not permanent. A mirror shows what is in front of it at a particular moment, but if the person standing there changes, the reflection changes too. The same idea applies to how the marketplace responds to what someone contributes. Many people start to believe that their current situation in life has been permanently decided. They look at their income, their opportunities, or the level of responsibility they have, and assume those things define what their future will always look like. In reality, the marketplace is not assigning permanent roles to anyone. It is simply reflecting what a person is offering right now. If the value someone provides stays the same year after year, the reflection usually stays about the same as well. Opportunities might show up from time to time, but the overall pattern does not change very much because the level of contribution has not changed. However, the moment a person starts improving what they bring to other people, the reflection begins to change along with it. Changing that reflection often starts with a very practical question. Instead of asking why the world has responded a certain way, a person can ask what new value they could develop that might cause the response to be different. That question moves attention away from frustration and toward growth. In many cases, the answer begins with building new skills. Skills are the tools people use to solve problems more effectively. The more capable someone becomes, the more useful their contribution usually becomes as well. When those abilities are used consistently, the marketplace starts recognizing a higher level of usefulness. Improvement can come from becoming more reliable. Someone who follows through on commitments, completes things carefully, and delivers results on time quickly becomes someone others can depend on. Reliability might sound simple, but in many places, it is surprisingly rare. Because of that, it becomes very valuable when it shows up consistently. Another way the reflection can change is when someone learns how to solve more complex problems. Simple tasks often lead to modest rewards because many people are able to do them. However, when someone develops the ability to handle challenges that others struggle with, their usefulness increases a great deal. The marketplace recognizes that higher level of usefulness and responds to it. It is important to remember that none of these changes happen overnight. Just as reputation grows gradually through repeated contribution, improvement in value also develops through consistent effort over time. A new skill learned today may not change someone's situation immediately, but it becomes another tool they can use in the future. As those tools continue to build up, the level of contribution starts to expand. Someone who once handled only simple responsibilities may slowly become capable of managing more complex tasks. Other people begin noticing that change because the results start showing up in the work being produced. When the level of value increases, opportunities usually increase as well. Organizations look for people who can take on greater responsibility because responsibility requires capability. Customers tend to return to people who provide better solutions because good solutions save time, money, and effort. This leads to a very hopeful realization. The marketplace does not permanently label anyone as successful or unsuccessful. It simply responds to the level of value currently being offered. As that value grows, the reflection grows along with it. Many people become discouraged because they believe their starting point determines where they will eventually end up. Yet history provides countless examples of people who began with very limited opportunity, but slowly improved their position by strengthening the value they offered. Each improvement in skill, discipline, and reliability added another piece to the contribution they brought to the world. Eventually, those improvements became impossible to ignore. The marketplace started reflecting the higher level of capability through better opportunities, greater influence, and stronger rewards. None of that required special permission. It simply required a steady increase in useful contribution. This is why the idea of responsibility can be so empowering. When someone realizes the reflection can change, they no longer need to spend all their energy blaming circumstances or criticizing the system. Instead, they can focus their attention on growth, learning, and developing abilities that help other people. Every improvement in capability becomes another signal the marketplace recognizes. Each new skill increases the number of problems someone can solve. Each improvement in discipline increases the consistency of the results they produce. Over time, these signals combine to form a completely new pattern of contribution. Once that new pattern begins to take shape, the reflection starts changing as well. Opportunities that once seemed far away start appearing because the person has become capable of handling them. Responsibilities increase because others recognize the reliability of the results being delivered. One of the most encouraging parts of this principle is that the opportunity for improvement is always there. The marketplace does not close the door on growth. It simply waits for greater value to appear. When that value shows up through stronger skills, better solutions, and more dependable performance, the reflection responds. In this way, the marketplace quietly invites everyone to improve the picture being reflected. It does not require perfection, but it does respond to progress. The more someone grows in usefulness and contribution, the more the reflection begins to show that growth. The mirror was never the obstacle. It has only been showing the truth of what stands in front of it. When a person changes the value they bring to the world, the mirror naturally begins reflecting a different image. And that new reflection often includes opportunities that once seemed far out of reach. It's just how life works. You don't get a harvest before you plant. You don't reap before you sow. The ground doesn't give you fruit unless you put seed into it first. And the seasons don't speed up just because you're impatient. If a farmer stood in his field in the spring and demanded crops without planting anything, we'd question whether he understood how farming works. But in business, in careers, and in personal goals, people try to do that all the time. They want recognition before they've prepared, reward before they've built discipline, income before they've created value, and applause before they've developed real skill. They're asking for fall results in the middle of spring planting. Nature doesn't make exceptions. The seed has to go into the ground long before you see anything happening. For a while, the field looks the same. If you don't know better, you'd think nothing is going on. But under the surface, roots are growing down before anything comes up. That hidden stage isn't a delay or a mistake. It's how growth is designed. The rule is simple. The work comes first. The effort shows up before the evidence does. You give your time, your energy, your study, and your focus long before the results show up publicly. The gap between what you put in and what you get out isn't punishment. It's part of the system. Most people lose patience during that invisible stretch. They work hard for a week and expect major change. They study for a month and expect expertise. They practice for a season and expect recognition. When the payoff doesn't show up right away, they assume something is wrong. The plan, the opportunity, the environment. In reality, they've confused normal timing with failure. Delayed gratification isn't optional. It's built into every meaningful pursuit. The musician plays scales long before stepping on stage. The craftsman repeats basic motions long before his work looks refined. The apprentice follows instruction long before he has authority. That pattern is easiest to see in apprenticeship itself. Look at how apprenticeship works. No one walks into a trade on day one and earns the pay of a master. First, they observe, they practice, they accept correction, they do the small things, sweeping floors, carrying tools, paying attention. The paycheck might be small at the start, but the education is huge. In those early stages, the real payment is coming from them, not going to them. There's nothing shameful about that stage if you see it clearly. The apprentice isn't behind, he's building. He's investing attention, humility, and patience. He's creating a base that will eventually support income, respect, and independence. Authority grows out of competence, and competence grows out of steady investment. That same principle shows up in private practice long before public recognition. The same is true with practicing a skill before anyone notices. Every private repetition is a deposit. Every hour spent improving without an audience is building capacity. When people finally see the performance, they often assume it came naturally. What they don't see are the years that led up to that moment. The celebration is short. The preparation is long. Applause might last a few minutes, but practice can last years. If you're not willing to pay ahead of time, you'll never reach the stage where others think you're lucky. What looks like luck is usually accumulated effort. Results almost always trail behind effort. That's one of the most important things to understand. You might plant today and see nothing for weeks. You might study today and not feel any smarter for months. You might start a new discipline and not notice real change until much later. That delay doesn't mean your effort isn't working. That space between effort and outcome is where your belief in the process gets tested. Not blind belief, but a clear understanding of how things work. If you know planting comes before harvest, you don't panic when the field looks empty. You keep tending it because you trust the order. People who don't understand this try to flip the sequence. They wait to feel motivated before they act. They wait to feel confident before they commit. They wait to be certain before they put in effort. But confidence comes from action, not the other way around. Certainty grows as you move, not as you hesitate. Because the order never reverses, this principle requires you to move first. You invest your time before you feel like you have extra time. You invest your energy before you feel fully energized. You apply discipline before inspiration shows up. More often than not, inspiration follows action, not the other way around. When you accept that order, things shift. You stop being surprised by the delay. You start expecting it. Instead of getting frustrated during quiet periods, you use them productively. You understand that habits are forming, skills are improving, and foundations are strengthening, even if nothing dramatic is visible yet. There's no way around this. You can't rush the seasons, and you can't trick the soil. You don't get fruit without first burying seed. The price is paid up front, and proof often shows up later. The people who accept this gain patience without losing drive. They work without needing immediate praise because they understand how growth works. They don't measure progress by daily applause. They measure it by daily investment. In your own life, you're going to pay one way or another. The real choice is whether you pay now in focused effort or later in regret and frustration. The ground responds to what you plant, not to what you wish for. Once you understand this principle, the confusion fades. You stop expecting harvest during planting season. You stop quitting just because the results aren't immediate. You keep planting, watering, tending, and preparing. See, here's the deal. The harvest goes to the ones who were willing to sow when no one was watching and to wait when it looked like nothing was happening. The order doesn't change. You pay first. The reward comes after. That order leads directly to a broader truth. There's always a cost. The real question is when you're going to pay it. Every opportunity comes with a price, and every comfort has a bill attached, even if you don't see it right away. The issue isn't whether you'll pay. It's whether you'll pay now through discipline or later through regret. Growth is uncomfortable. That's not dramatic, it's practical. Muscles get stronger through resistance, not by staying relaxed. Skills improve through correction, not convenience. Financial stability comes from restraint, not impulse. Whenever you choose to improve, you're choosing short-term discomfort in exchange for long-term ability. Comfort builds up the same way discipline does. One lazy evening doesn't seem like a big deal. One missed workout feels minor. One unnecessary purchase looks harmless. But repeated comfort becomes a habit, and habits shape your future. What feels small today can become significant over time. If you want to reach a higher level, discomfort is the entry fee. A student gives up free time to gain knowledge. An entrepreneur gives up certainty to build independence. A leader takes on responsibility, others avoid. These aren't punishments. They're simply the cost of moving up. A lot of people want the next level without paying for it. They want strength without strain, income without investment, respect without preparation. But every step upward requires something from you. If you refuse to give it, you stay where you are. When you avoid effort in the short term, you limit yourself in the long term. If you delay studying, you delay competence. If you delay saving, you delay security. If you delay discipline, you delay freedom. What you put off today quietly narrows your options tomorrow. The danger of inaction is that it doesn't look dangerous at first. There's no alarm when you skip preparation. There's no immediate penalty when you choose comfort over growth. The consequences show up slowly, and by the time you see them, the habit is already established. Look at your health. You've got to keep an eye on that because neglect doesn't announce itself on day one. It builds quietly. Energy drops little by little. Strength decreases gradually. Endurance fades over time. When the cost finally becomes obvious, it's much higher than it would have been at the start. Now look at the opposite approach. Early mornings, disciplined meals, and consistent training might feel inconvenient at first. You're putting in effort before you see results, but over time, your energy improves. Your confidence increases. Your capacity expands. The effort you paid early starts to pay you back. Money works the same way. Saving part of what you earn can feel restrictive in the beginning. It means saying no when you'd rather say yes. It means planning instead of reacting. But over time, stability replaces stress. Choices replace dependence. The early discomfort creates long-term freedom. Preparation versus scrambling shows this clearly. When you prepare ahead of time, you pay with focus and effort before the event. When you don't, you pay with stress and embarrassment during the crisis. Preparation costs you early. Scrambling costs you later. Someone who refuses to prepare might think they're saving time. In reality, they're borrowing against their future peace. The bill eventually shows up, usually at the worst moment. The person who prepares invests early and handles pressure calmly. Every time you lower your standards, you create a future penalty. When you give less than you're capable of, you shrink your margin. You weaken your position. You reduce your resilience. Lower standards feel easier now, but they collect payment later in missed opportunities. Growth isn't free. It requires attention, correction, and persistence. It forces you to face weaknesses instead of explaining them away. It pushes you past what feels comfortable. The alternative isn't staying the same, it's slowly declining. Standing still doesn't keep you stable. It usually moves you backward. Skills fade when they aren't used. Confidence drops when it isn't tested. Opportunities shrink when you aren't ready for them. Comfort might feel steady, but it rarely moves you forward. At some point, you have to choose which cost you're willing to accept. The cost of moving up is effort, humility, and discipline. The cost of staying comfortable is regret, limitation, and frustration. One price builds you, the other restricts you. Maturity shows up when you stop being surprised by this. You stop asking why progress feels hard. You stop wishing for results without sacrifice. You start recognizing discomfort as a sign that you're stretching into something bigger. An athlete understands this. The strain during training isn't a warning to quit. It's part of getting stronger. A disciplined saver understands this. Saying no today isn't deprivation, it's construction. A prepared professional understands this. The extra hour of preparation isn't wasted, it's protection. The real tragedy isn't that success has a cost. The tragedy is that many people refuse to pay early and then act shocked when the bill comes later. They blame circumstances for outcomes that were predictable. They call it bad luck when it was delayed responsibility. Once you accept that everything has a cost, you take back control. You choose steady, manageable payments instead of overwhelming consequences. You choose consistent effort over accumulated regret. It's almost always cheaper to build than to repair. It's easier to maintain strength than to regain it. It's easier to stay disciplined than to rebuild it from scratch. It's easier to invest consistently than to recover from neglect. You can't remove cost from the equation. You can only decide when you're going to pay. Pay now by growing, or pay later by being limited. The smart choice is the one that expands your future instead of shrinking it. Beyond cost and discipline, there's another layer that determines whether success lasts. Before the rewards show up, before anyone recognizes you, before opportunities start opening up, there's something more important that has to be built first. That something is character. You can be handed money. You can be offered a title. You can be given influence. But if your character isn't developed, you won't be able to keep any of it for long. Character is like internal capital. It's the asset on the inside that determines how much success on the outside you can actually handle. Someone might be given an opportunity that's bigger than their character, but they won't be able to sustain it. Real capacity starts internally. Reliability has to come before opportunity. A lot of people say they're just waiting for their chance, but they haven't been consistent in the small things already in front of them. They want bigger responsibilities while ignoring the basic ones they've already been trusted with. The world doesn't hand out greater responsibility to people who mishandle smaller things. Reliability isn't flashy. It's simple and steady. It shows up on time. It keeps promises. It finishes what it starts. It doesn't need constant supervision to stay focused. When someone becomes consistently reliable, it becomes much safer to give them bigger opportunities. Integrity has to come before influence. Influence just amplifies what's already there. If someone has strong integrity, influence builds trust. If someone lacks integrity, influence magnifies the damage they can do. It's smarter to strengthen your principles before your platform grows. Integrity isn't proven in public speeches or big moments. It's proven in private choices. It's built when you choose what's right instead of what's easy, especially when no one would know the difference. Those quiet decisions create the foundation that trust stands on. Emotional control has to come before leadership. If someone can't manage their own reactions, they'll struggle to lead anyone else. Leadership requires steadiness under pressure and clarity when things are uncertain. Without emotional discipline, authority becomes unstable. There will always be moments of frustration, disappointment, and criticism. Those are the moments that reveal character. If someone reacts with anger, trust starts to erode. If they respond with composure, respect grows. Leadership isn't sustained by a title. It's sustained by self-control. What you do in private shapes what you can handle in public. Your unseen habits determine your visible capacity. The routines no one sees, the preparation no one applauds, the disciplined choices you make alone, those are what build real strength. Public success is usually the outcome of private consistency. Long before someone gets promoted, their character has already been forming. They've been building habits. They've been sharpening their thinking. They've been improving their skills. Promotion doesn't create ability. It exposes it. Trust builds slowly. It isn't handed out because of potential. It's earned through proof. Every promise you keep adds to your credibility. Every responsibility you handle increases that trust. Over time, that trust becomes real value. Strong character allows you to carry more weight. Success brings pressure. It brings expectations, attention, and accountability. Without character, that pressure feels overwhelming. With character, it becomes manageable. Some people rise quickly, but fewer are able to stay there. Fast growth without internal development often leads to fast collapse. If your opportunity outpaces your capacity, strain sets in. Eventually, something breaks. Character increases your capacity gradually. It builds patience, it sharpens judgment, it gives you perspective. Every disciplined decision expands the size of the life you're able to handle responsibly. Your success will only grow as large as your character can sustain. If your discipline is inconsistent, your results won't hold. If your integrity wavers, your influence will fade. If your reliability is uncertain, your opportunities will shrink. That's why inner development has to come before outer reward. You have to become the kind of person who can handle more before you receive more. The internal structure has to be solid before the external structure can rise. This kind of growth is quiet. It doesn't draw attention. It happens one decision at a time, day after day. Most people won't notice the process, but they will eventually notice the results. You can't fake character for long. You can't borrow it from someone else. It's built through repetition, through discipline, through choosing principle over convenience. Every time you honor your word, you strengthen it. Every time you correct yourself honestly, you refine it. When opportunity finally comes, it will test what you've built. It will reveal how reliable you are, how strong your integrity is, and how steady your emotions remain under pressure. If your foundation is solid, you'll stand. If it's weak, the cracks will show. Character isn't something only successful people need. It's what makes lasting success possible. It determines whether growth leads to stability or stress. It decides whether influence leads to positive impact or unintended damage. If you focus on becoming dependable, trustworthy, and disciplined first, you're building something that can't easily be taken from you. You're strengthening the core that will support everything else you achieve. The rewards people see are external. Character isn't. But character is what keeps those rewards in place. Without it, success fades. With it, success lasts. So before you chase more, work on becoming more. Before you ask for opportunity, prove you're reliable. Before you seek influence, establish integrity. Responsibility is given to those who've shown they can handle it. Character is what allows you to endure once you succeed. Invest in it early, and you'll be able to sustain whatever progress and recognition come your way. That same foundation carries into how success is built day by day. And when you look closely, this same pattern shows up in the way success is built day by day. Success doesn't usually come from one huge, dramatic moment. It's not about a single heroic effort that changes everything overnight. It's built in smaller payments over time. It requires showing up and paying into it every day. A lot of people wait for a burst of motivation. They wait for the perfect mood, the perfect timing, the perfect conditions. They imagine progress happening through big, impressive moves. But real progress is less exciting and much more reliable. It comes from repetition. Small actions done daily start to add up. Reading one page might not feel like much. Making one disciplined decision can seem minor. One practice session might feel ordinary. But when those small actions are repeated consistently, they begin to compound. Compounding doesn't make noise at the beginning. It works quietly in the background. Skills improve, thinking sharpens, habits become stronger. Over time, what once felt small becomes meaningful and noticeable. Momentum comes from repetition, not bursts of intensity. Intensity feels powerful, but it usually fades quickly. Repetition builds slowly and lasts. Someone who practices a little every day will often outperform someone who practices hard once in a while. And think about reading. You know, studying for hours in one evening can feel productive. But if you don't touch the material again for weeks, the impact fades. Reading 10 pages a day, consistently over months, can completely change your level of understanding. The steady pace creates deeper growth. Exercise works the same way. Pushing yourself to extremes occasionally can leave you exhausted or discouraged. Training consistently at a moderate level builds strength in a way that's sustainable. The body responds best to regular effort, not random extremes. Skill building follows this pattern too. Mastery doesn't happen in a weekend. It's built through daily adjustments, daily refinement, and daily use. Every repetition improves something. Every review adds clarity. Skipping days compounds just like practicing does. If you regularly neglect a discipline, you're building a habit of inconsistency. Postponing becomes easier. Excuses feel more reasonable. Whatever you repeat becomes reinforced, whether it's progress or delay. Excellence usually comes from reinforcement, not dramatic change. Many people try to overhaul their entire life at once. They create big plans that demand major shifts. When the initial excitement fades, the plan falls apart. Lasting improvement is usually quieter and steadier. When you commit to paying daily, your progress becomes more stable. You're not relying on emotional highs. You're not waiting for perfect conditions. You build regardless of how you feel that day. Consistency becomes your advantage. Daily discipline creates stability in your mindset. A setback doesn't shake you as much because you know you'll be back at it tomorrow. A small disappointment doesn't derail you because your focus is on the process, not instant results. It strengthens your trust in yourself too. Every time you follow through, you reinforce the belief that you can rely on your own word. That confidence isn't built from positive thinking. It's built from repeated action. If you miss a day, the answer is simple. Start again the next day. Don't turn one mistake into a new pattern. Discipline doesn't mean perfection. It means persistence. It means correcting quickly and continuing steadily. When you're consistent, you don't need to keep reinventing your strategy. You don't have to redesign your life every few weeks. You just maintain the habits that move you forward. Over time, those habits create a stable structure for long-term success. The daily effort can feel plain. It doesn't usually get applause. It doesn't create dramatic stories, but it builds real strength. It prepares you for opportunities long before they show up. People who rely on intensity often go through cycles. They get excited, push hard, then burn out. They make big promises and then lose momentum. The disciplined person moves forward at a steady pace and avoids those extreme swings. When you decide to pay daily, progress becomes straightforward. You know what needs to be done today. You do it. Then you repeat tomorrow. The simplicity is what makes it effective. Eventually, the accumulation becomes visible. Your skills improve, your confidence grows, your capacity increases. Others might call it talent or luck, but you'll know it came from steady payments made over time. Success isn't one big transaction. It's a long series of small deposits. Every day gives you a chance to invest. Every disciplined action adds to your total. The balance grows quietly until it's impossible to ignore. If you're willing to pay a little every day, you won't need dramatic effort to carry you. You won't depend on emotional highs to move forward. Routine will guide you, and repetition will strengthen you. So remember, success isn't determined by how big your effort is on one day. It's determined by how consistently you show up. Pay a little each day. Reinforce what matters. Repeat what builds you. Over time, the accumulation handles the rest. In the work, even when no one is clapping in the work, even when no one is clapping for you, it's easy to work hard when the recognition comes quickly. It's much harder to keep going when your effort is unnoticed and your progress is quiet. Most of the time, the world doesn't reward preparation right away. The long study sessions don't get celebrated. The early mornings don't get announced. The steady correction of your habits doesn't draw attention. But those are exactly the investments that shape your future results. If you need applause to keep moving, your effort will always be unstable. Applause is inconsistent. It depends on trends, opinions, and circumstances you can't control. When recognition becomes your motivation, inconsistency follows close behind. External validation can give you a temporary boost, but it can't carry you for the long term. There will be seasons when your work feels invisible. There will be stretches when no one notices your discipline. That's where maturity shows up. Self-respect grows when you keep the promises you make to yourself. If you say you'll wake up early and you do it, your confidence increases. If you commit to preparing and follow through, your belief in yourself gets stronger. Other people may not see those wins, but you feel them internally. Working without attention builds independence. You learn to act based on principle instead of praise. You do what's right because it's right, not because someone might reward you for it. That kind of independence frees you from depending emotionally on approval. Building a solid reputation takes time. Quick recognition can feel exciting, but steady credibility is more valuable. Every consistent action adds another layer to your reputation. Over time, it becomes strong enough to handle criticism and pressure. Keeping your commitments when no one is watching is one of the highest levels of discipline. It's easy to meet expectations when there's an audience. It's harder to maintain standards in private. But those private moments are where your character is truly formed. The people who move ahead consistently are the ones who act before they're guaranteed a reward. They prepare before opportunity is certain. They improve their skills before recognition shows up. They don't wait for proof that their effort will pay off. They trust that it will. When you reach this point, your focus shifts. You stop asking whether people are noticing your work. You start asking whether you're doing it well. You stop measuring progress by praise. You measure it by your own standards. There will be times when the routine feels repetitive and the results feel far away. There will be moments when others seem to be moving ahead faster. If your motivation depends on comparison, discouragement will follow. But if your motivation is grounded in principle, you'll stay steady. Real commitment shows up when there's no spotlight. It shows up when you do what's necessary, even though no one will congratulate you. It shows up when you stick to your discipline, even though no one is checking on you. Over time, that independence becomes real strength. Criticism doesn't shake you as easily because your drive comes from within. Praise doesn't inflate you because your standards are personal. You act from conviction instead of reacting to feedback. A reputation built slowly tends to last longer. It's based on repeated proof, not sudden attention. When challenges come, that kind of reputation holds up because it was built through consistency, not excitement. There's dignity in working quietly. There's power in improving your skills without announcing it. There's strength in keeping your word without needing acknowledgement. Those steady investments are what produce results that last. Maturity doesn't mean you stop appreciating recognition. It means you don't depend on it. You can value praise without needing it to continue. You can welcome encouragement without waiting for it before you act. When you operate at this level, your progress starts to move forward, quietly but consistently. You spend less time chasing validation and more time improving your preparation. You focus on substance instead of display. Eventually, sustained effort gets noticed. It may not happen immediately and it may not be dramatic, but consistent value has a way of becoming visible over time. The people who keep investing without applause often earn a kind of respect that lasts. In the end, success usually expects payment up front, and often without witnesses. The few who understand that keep building regardless of attention. They improve steadily, work quietly, and trust that the results will come in time. When your commitment isn't tied to applause, you become difficult to stop. You're guided by principles, strengthened by discipline, and supported by self-respect. That's maturity. That's strength. And that's how lasting success is built.
I begin each day with discipline, clear purpose, integrity, and gratitude. I focus only on what I can influence, and I take deliberate action daily. I reflect, journal, and learn from each day so I improve tomorrow. I learn and teach every day, sharpening my judgment and understanding. I show up intentionally as a husband, a father, a son, and a brother. I take responsibility for the impact of my decisions on others. I train my body daily with discipline and respect for long-term health. I am becoming a capable managing director who understands business. I am building long-term financial stability through competence and integrity. I act with gratitude, humility, and a commitment to give back. I am becoming someone who does high-intensity interval training every single week. I take time to recognize what I am grateful for every day. I visualize success every day so I know what I'm moving towards. I begin each day with discipline, clear purpose, integrity, and gratitude. I focus only on what I can influence, and I take deliberate action daily. I reflect, journal, and learn from each day so I improve tomorrow. I learn and teach every day, sharpening my judgment and understanding. I show up intentionally as a husband, a father, a son, and a brother. I take responsibility for the impact of my decisions on others. I train my body daily with discipline and respect for long-term health. I am becoming a capable managing director who understands business. I am building long-term financial stability through competence and integrity. I act with gratitude, humility, and a commitment to give back. I am becoming someone who does high-intensity interval training every single week. I take time to recognize what I am grateful for every day. I visualize success every day so I know what I'm moving towards. I begin each day with discipline, clear purpose, integrity, and gratitude. I focus only on what I can influence, and I take deliberate action daily. I reflect, journal, and learn from each day so I improve tomorrow. I learn and teach every day, sharpening my judgment and understanding. I show up intentionally as a husband, a father, a son, and a brother. I take responsibility for the impact of my decisions on others. I train my body daily with discipline and respect for long-term health. I am becoming a capable managing director who understands business. I am building long-term financial stability through competence and integrity. I act with gratitude, humility, and a commitment to give back. I am becoming someone who does high-intensity interval training every single week. I take time to recognize what I am grateful for every day. I visualize success every day so I know what I'm moving towards. I begin each day with discipline, clear purpose, integrity, and gratitude. I focus only on what I can influence, and I take deliberate action daily. I reflect, journal, and learn from each day so I improve tomorrow.
Day 106.